So I thought I'd try something a little bit different for the channel today. Obviously I'm used to doing G1 Masterpiece figure reviews, but I was recently rummaging around and came across something from my childhood. This Panini sticker album, which I believe is circa 1985 probably. Can't see that it's actually got a date on the back there, but it's probably inside. It's the princely sum of 20 pence. It's not in bad condition actually. It's been in storage mostly for the last 35 years, I guess. It's seen better days, but haven't we all? But it's generally in reasonable condition for its age. Anyway, I thought it would just be quite a fun thing to take a quick look at. Don't intend to go into massive detail with it, but if you're, not quite as old as I am, maybe it'd be thought it might be quite interesting for you to take a look at what some of us original G1ers got up to back in the day. And I almost completed this album, not quite, but almost. But I'll go through that as we move through the book. But if we take a look inside, you can see the first page. I've done what most kids tended to do at whatever age I would have been. In fact it was 1986, so yeah, I would have been older than I thought I was when this came out. I would have been probably about 10 when this came out, depending on when it came out in 1986. So yeah, I've coloured it in, thereby ruining the collector value forever, but obviously wasn't thinking about that. And for some reason, someone has written a telephone number for someone belonging to, someone called Ian, belonging to someone called Ian at the top. That's not my handwriting. I've no idea who did that, but anyway, I seriously doubt Ian's on that number anymore, and I'm not going to call it to find out. But anyway, it's got a brief introduction to the sort of universe. I kind of hold it up so you can get a brief look at it. It's not really based on either the cartoon or the Marvel mythos, really. It's more dumbed down than either of those. But it gives sort of people a rough idea of what's going on, who the good guys and who the bad guys are, etc. And you've got a nice bit of classic artwork, artwork there. Decepticon Dam Busters type scene. And over here on the other side we've got a nice collage of what would have been the second wave of figures, really. We've obviously got the Dinobots there and the Insecticons, Shockwave, and well, I would say Tracks, but it's not, is it? So I guess that would be Loud Pedal, would it? Maybe? Is that right? Loud Pedal? Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Jetfire there as well. Some deluxe Insecticons down the bottom there as well. I don't know if you can see them, but there they are. And yeah, I really liked this artwork actually because it had Shockwave and Jetfire on it. I was kind of semi-obsessed with Shockwave back in the day. And yeah, you couldn't really get some of these figures in the UK either. The deluxe Insecticons were never released here to my knowledge. Shockwave again, maybe very limited quantities found their way over here at some point, but I never had him. I had the grey Astro Magnum, Shockwave, whatever you want to call it. Still do. But yeah, I could never get hold of the purple one himself. But I always loved this artwork, which are featured on the back of some of the Generation 1 boxes as well. And there you have what were lovingly referred to as silvers, and probably still are. The Autobot and Decepticon Cygners there. And the book was really just a sort of a recapping of the More Than Meets the Eye three-parter. You've got the sort of backstory of the Transformers home planet, and the exodus from Cybertron, the Autobots taking off, complete with a nice animation error of the Arc's engines not actually firing the sort of boosters out of the booster slots. Very strange. Yeah, I mean, obviously if anyone's familiar with the animation, they're going to know exactly what's happening here, but I just think it's really quite nice. They've chosen some decent scenes that illustrate the various parts. You can follow, you know, as someone who knows the episode, the three-parter really well, you can follow it from this. And I'm surprised how well the stickers have held up, actually. The book itself isn't looking too bad for its age, as I said earlier, but honestly, as I go through it, it is surprising that it's in quite good condition. Let's go on to the next side, and yet we're still on More Than Meets the Eye. And I do like that they have these illustrations as well. It's obviously taken pretty much straight from the episodes. A bit of artistic license, but it's nice that they give them sort of animation relevant backdrop. And I really do like some of the key moments they've picked out here. Obviously Mirage doing his hologram thing, introduction of Spike and Sparkplug on the oil rig. You've got the iconic moment there with Rumble doing his underwater thing. You've got your Seeker armada there with your various clones. A few more of them up there, and it's just quite an interesting sort of look back to see everything in stills. On these pages, there are a few of them throughout. You get character bios for some of the more important characters and some of the lesser characters as well, funny enough, but we'll cover that. Obviously this is Optimus. It's the toy version, which always struck me as a bit odd, even as a kid, when you've got a sticker album based on the cartoon and then you've got the toy sort of shown in sticker form. It's like, choose one. I mean, I guess maybe it's to sell toys, but that was the idea of the cartoon to begin with. But yeah, obviously 2 silvers and a collage. I could have done a better job with that sticker there. And then we've got a brief recap of S.O.S Dinobots. Again, complete with some pretty good scenes and some nice illustrations. And I also like the way that alternate pages are red and purple, you know, carrying over the Autobot Decepticon motif. And yeah, I say it is still surprising to me that I've managed to keep this in quite as good condition as I have. I still have pretty much every G1 Marvel comic released. There are a handful that I don't have because I either couldn't get them. I think the first issue I could never get. There are a couple towards the very end of the run that I had a subscription from a newsagent and they didn't deliver them, and it was a while before I collected them, and it was too late then. But to be honest, it was pretty much trash by the end of the run, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm not missing many from the original core sort of run, but they've seen better days. I mean, I guess they're thinner paper than this, but still, this is in pretty good nick, apart from the centre here where the staples have started to come undone. But we have the other leader here, Megatron, again, in his giant gun penis configuration. So even as a kid, it wasn't lost on me. But again, we used to love these silvers as kids. We used to trade them. They were like silver dust. I can't remember exactly how many we used to get for a silver now, but it was something like 5 regulars for a silver. But they were obviously a lot rarer than the general sort of purple stickers. And moving on, we come to War of the Dinobots. Again, some nice collages here. Introduces Chip as well. And for me, actually, some of these were the first time that I'd really clearly seen some of the episodes. So obviously, I didn't see every episode on TV in its entirety, or even every episode when I was a kid. And you didn't always get to record things back then either. So yeah, some of these episodes, I only saw them in sticker form or adaptation form. This, I think, possibly being one of them. I didn't see this until a bit later. You can see this is where the staples have given. But yeah, it's, as I say, it's not much more you can blather on about it. I mean, I'm just holding it up so you can have a look and trying to fill a bit of dead air, to be honest. But it's a nice looking centre spread. That it's got again, though, you really can see that the original, I forget this from time to time, but the original scale of the Dinobots was huge. I mean, they towered over Prime and Megatron. They absolutely dwarfed most Autobots. You know, down there, Ratchet's only sort of waist high on Snarl. They reduced them slightly in scale as things went on, but that's why I don't feel so bad about my Reximus Prime figure being so much bigger than Optimus, etc. Because Grimlock was a big bugger when he originally rocked up. A couple of Dinobots, Dinobot profiles in the centre. Here we go. You can see one of the very few stickers I was missing. I never even managed to get hold of this silver. This sticker. And I'd stopped collecting. You know, obviously being a kid, I didn't collect forever. And I never thought to send away for the ones I was missing. It's probably a little bit prohibitive to do that now. But yeah, it's always been a bit of an annoyance of mine that I never did finish this sticker album. Moving on, we come to Fire in the Sky, which was one of the only ways I really got familiar with Jetfire. I'm sure I did see the episode when I was a kid, but it was probably this and the comic as well, obviously. But this being, you know, the proper animation model, this is what I really liked, and you got some really good views of Jetfire in this, or Skyfire, sorry, as he actually is in the cartoon. Yeah, it's why I'm really glad I've got Fans Toys take on Jetfire now. They're Phoenix, because it just looks like it's leapt off of this page, really. You know, out of the animation, it's such a spot-on representation of the character. An animation model that I really like as well. I've got the G1 Jetfire toy, but I think I actually prefer this sort of Colossus that they turned him into. Even if he does seem to get buried in ice every time he comes out to battle anyone. Even if there's no ice around, Jetfire will find a way to get buried in it. Moving on, we've got a Thrust character profile. Again, a slightly weird one. I mean, you've got Optimus, Megatrons, and Dinobots, and then Thrust. I guess they were pushing the sort of second wave, you know, the Season 2 toys, so they thought they'd put him in as well. And then we've got one of my favourite episodes from the cartoon, Heavy Metal War. And this sticker album, again, contradicting later episodes, because it says that the Constructicons are devilish new creatures thought up by Megatron. Which obviously the later seasons said they built Megatron millions of years ago on Cybertron, but then continuity has never been a G1 cartoon strong point, has it? Either storytelling or visual. And yeah, I really, as I say, one of my favourite episodes, so I really like this spread. Again, some nice artwork there, and I was really gutted, actually. I'm going to get to it now, and it's probably going to make me feel pangs of regret even to this day. But you'll see there I'm missing a sticker, and it was, I don't know why, but this one was really rare. Hardly anyone I know had this. I think one person I knew had the sticker, and nobody else had it. And it's Megatron falling into the lava at the end. And I remember I did get it one day. I was over the moon. I was like, yes, I can finally finish that story. Put it in my jeans, and you know, went home, took my jeans off that night, and they were promptly put in the wash, and the sticker disintegrated. And yeah, I think I handled that quite poorly at the time. But yeah, so there's a kind of lesson there. Don't put important things in your jeans and leave them to other people to wash. Although in my defence, I was only 10. So we also have Inferno here. Again, another odd character choice really to my mind, but again probably pushing the sort of season 2 characters. And then we've got Fire on the Mountain. It's quite a Jetfire stroke Skyfire heavy album, this, because he appears in this one as well. I can't remember if he gets buried in ice in this. I think he actually survives relatively unscathed in this one, doesn't he? Or he gets shot or something and then comes back at the end. I don't know. I'm sure he finds a way to be excluded for for copyright reasons. But again, this is another story that I really like. And it's just another example of Spike doing his utmost to cheat on Carly as well, because every time he meets a new girl, he's really going all out to try and impress them, kind of forgetting that he's already got like a college-age girlfriend back home. But there you go. Spike was obviously a bit of a player, although I don't actually remember or recall any of them really being that interested. I know Astoria wasn't. She was more into Powerglide, but I can't remember whether Louisa had a thing for Spike off the top of my head. And yeah, the final profile is Swoop. Obviously they had a bit of a thing for the Dinobots in this, although no Grimlock, oddly. Again, Swoop was a character I could not get in the UK, so a bit of a bittersweet page to end on for me as a kid. And again, this is his toy colours, obviously, not his toon colours. And yeah, and at the back, as you can see, telling you where you can obtain stickers that you were missing at the end of the run, and for some reason I never availed myself of that service, so I never ever got them. But yeah, I mean, I know this is a bit of a random sort of left of field entry in my channel, but it's just something that I found while I was rooting around in cupboards and drawers a while back. And it's been sat on the side for a long time and I haven't really done anything with it. And I thought, well, you never know. Someone out there might get something, might get a kick out of seeing this almost complete sticker album. And I say I will, you know, I still rue the fact that I didn't get the last 3 stickers for it. But, you know, I think that ship has sailed. I think you can pick them up on eBay in packs and maybe even individuals, but they cost quite a lot for what they are now, so I don't think I'm going to go down that route. It's a bit like issue 6 of Power Pack that I never got back in the day, and now it costs quite a lot of money and it's difficult tracking it down. But I've got all of the other original, I think 25 issue run of that comic series, and even number 1, you know, which I picked up again, and a few of the others I picked up later in life, but I can never get hold of issue 6, the one with the Dragon Man and Spider-Man. But yeah, most of my other comics from the era have survived. I've got all of Secret Wars 1 and 2, and as I say, most of the original Transformers run, and Spider-Man and Zoids, and various other bits and pieces. But that's a bit out of scope of this channel. But it's the sort of stuff I was finding when I was opening old drawers and cleaning out a while ago. So anyway, I hope this has been of some interest to someone. I thought it was quite a nice little thing, nice sort of trip down memory lane for me, and I might do a few other random things like this at some point if I can find anything that I think might be of interest. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be and whatever form it may take. Take care.